Hey, so I am here with Miss Shale. Shale, you've been a part of Discovery Kids. This is your 6th year
Yes.
with Discovery Kids.
Over 6 years.
Yeah, and you've worked in many classrooms here. Today we're talking about a grant that we qualified for. We created a new position within Discovery Kids, which is our Early Childhood Education Support Professional. So what does this mean for a childcare center? So being that we have 2 schools, we have 11 classrooms, we have nearly 40 teachers, and approximately 225 kids that we see every week.
It's a lot.
We need a lot of support around here. And with the director at each location, directors' responsibilities, they're so large that sometimes the amount of support that they can lend to a classroom
Is limited.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Right? It's not enough. It's one thing to tell your staff, hey, whatever you need, let me know. But if I can't get to that for 3 days,
Yeah.
or you've got little Johnny in your classroom that's struggling day 2.
And we need someone in there.
Yeah. And he's
Our
losing.
office staff are only one person.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what this support professional role, that was our envision for it. You'll see this at the district level where they've got speech language and they've got occupational, all different kinds of support professionals available for some one-on-one. But in our model of a private child care center, we just don't see that very often.
No.
And so that's what we wanted to create. And we also wanted this to be a sustainable position. So our grant is for 1 year. However, what happens after 1 year? How do we make this sustainable so that our teachers feel like they are supported beyond the norm, let's say?
Yes.
So I've had in the past, I've had a 5-year-old who, has needed that extra attention, and it kind of built to a point where he was, throwing things at kids, throwing things at teachers, throwing things at me, and it was very hard for me to try and keep the rest of my kids safe while trying to take care of this child and talk to the teachers, and it just became, too much. So my role is, to help come and step in, and I get to, hey, I see you're dealing with these 10 other kiddos. Johnny over here is screaming, throwing a fit, doesn't want to participate. That's why I'm in this room, to help kind of isolate this, take care of it for you, kind of find, what can work for this kid, and then help him reintegrate with the rest of the classroom, so that way he, can be part of it, and our teachers aren't getting burnt out, and they're not feeling like, I can't handle this, I can't, take care of this kid with the other ones. So that's been my support.
Oftentimes you're working with a parent, they're like, well, we just don't see this behavior at home.
Yeah.
Or they don't know what to do. And so these are everyday challenges. And it's not that they're bad children, but they're bad behaviors, that we're seeing, or those most challenging behaviors, the kiddos that need more one-on-one. And so a big part of that then becomes teacher burnout. How many times have you just said, I'm just exhausted, or you're looking at your week and it's like Monday, Tuesday, and you think, okay, this little girl,
Thursday
this
through
little
Friday.
sweetheart comes only Thursday, Friday. Those days are going to be so hard. But then you've got that extra support in the classroom, around the classroom, and also being a great resource for staff, understanding the local resources in the community, how they can go to. You can be that go-between between them and the parents, and guide some parent meetings, and meet with parents and follow up. So the idea behind our ECE Support Professional is to be just a great support, present support in the classroom.
For parents, kids, teachers, not just the kids, but like you said, to help build those relationships too. If we don't have a parent who doesn't know how to do this, at home, and sorry, here you go, we can at least help the teacher. Then we can find those resources, bring the parent and the teacher and the child together, and have a great, communication.
And you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's what a director does. No, that's what a director wants to do. That's what a director went to school thinking that they would be doing. And what does a director? No, you're doing billing.
Everything.
You're doing collections. You're doing staffing. You're doing payroll. You're involved in
CCAP,
enrollment. You're doing with the county, scheduling,
county,
all of those
state.
things. That's the director's role. This is the ideal director's role.
Yes.
And what we want to do is find that blend. So with the director and an ECE support professional, to be able to work together. there's going to be some complimenting in there,
Yes.
because you've already begun to learn some basic administrative tasks.
That can help take that off of them when
Yep.
they can focus on the bigger issues at hand.
All right, I've asked Nancy to come in and weigh in as our director here at our Grand Junction facility. So been with us for 3 years. After 6 months, you were called up to the plate, right, to take on that director role. About a month later, COVID. So it's been quite the challenge. What did you see as a director role? What did you think it was going to be like, and then what was some of your realities?
Yeah, I think when we sat down and started talking about it, we kind of talked about that dream director position of, oh yeah, and you'll be in the classrooms, you'll be helping the teachers, and there's definitely a lot more computer desk time than classroom time. That's just the reality of it. There's, so much to do over there. I do still have opportunities to get into the classroom. Believe it or not, I think COVID actually helped with that transition because I could ease in a little bit, kind of learn things one step at a time.
Where do you see the role of having an early childhood support professional? You're kind of looking at this maybe as that classroom support / administrative assistant as well, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel like this is going to impact your center here and your role overseeing everything?
Yeah, so I think, having Shale kind of as another person to support the teachers, the classrooms, we can kind of take time to use each other as a resource. Shale's gonna, work on getting those community resources and some of those strategies for us. And then her and I can work together as a team with you, with David, to strategize about, okay, this is the situation in pre-K. How can I tackle that? How can Shale help? How can David, what can we tackle together? How can we divvy things up? Kind of just using the resources that we have. It kind of gives me another me to help kind of divvy up some of that administrative work, some of that classroom work, and get that support that the teachers are needing.
Have you ever found yourself wanting to be in the classroom, knowing that you need to be in the classroom, that you've got all this other stuff going on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think the teachers will notice that there's more opportunity and more time for one of us to be in there supporting them physically, and I think that will really help them support their children and their families better.